Well, hi everybody. Ken Johnson is here with you, and we want to talk about the thunderstorm chances that may try to return as we head into next week. Of course, a lot of chatter on social media, and it's just that time of the year. And as we get into spring, every little system that comes through with a puff of wind is going to be overhyped. So, best advice is just find you a source you trust, watch that, and get the good information and stay away from all that bad stuff. Usually, out there, somebody is screaming loud stuff, then usually it's probably not good. So let's talk about it. Sunday, this is going to be your first little area of thunderstorm chances that return. To me, it looks like the threat for severe weather with this one is very, very low. I just don't think that there's going to be a lot of low-level moisture from the Gulf coming into play here. And that's usually the case as you're into early March here, late February, early March. There's usually not a lot of moisture to feed these systems just yet here. That will change later on in the spring, but at least early on, that's the way it is. That results in weak storm energy, and by storm energy, I mean instability. And you got to have that imbalance in the atmosphere. The greater imbalance, the stronger the storms can get. So without that, you just don't have a lot to work with here. So at least low-end chances on Sunday. And then behind that, early next week might be slightly better chances for storms in some parts of the region here. So when we look at our weather pattern, we like to look up top. From forecasting standpoint, we look from the top down to the bottom here. So we start up top here. This is the upper level energy. We're looking for storm systems and areas, what we call vorticity or spin of the atmosphere. So you look down here, you don't worry about any of these here. That's kind of stretched out elongated, not a big deal there. There's your colder air, there's your polar vortex up to the north. Let's put everything into motion for you here. Watch over this system here. Here comes Sunday system, a little ball there, a little ball of energy. And as this begins to move to the east here, it might be enough to help produce some showers and storms, or a few showers and storms over parts of the central or southern plain states on Sunday afternoon or so. But again, this does not have a look of anything major. So that kind of moves on out of the way. And then as you look into late Monday and Tuesday, this is another system. This one's a bit stronger than Sunday's system here. It's pretty rounded out here. It's larger. And out ahead of it, kind of out ahead of it into this area here is where you'd watch for some severe weather or thunderstorm chances with that. But again, the key here is, what will low-level moisture look like? I just don't think it's going to be much. So I do throw at least an isolated thunderstorm chance across the region on Sunday here. But again, it just doesn't look like much. Anything that does form probably going to be fairly weak. Then let's fast forward out, and here we are into early next week. I'm talking about, let's say, Monday, Tuesday. This is that stronger system I was talking about here. Maybe a little more moisture to work with over here in the Arklatex, maybe eastern Texas, maybe southeast Oklahoma, and over in parts of Arkansas and Louisiana, maybe even in Mississippi here. So there could be some stronger storms with this here, maybe early next week. Of course, there's already people all over social media screaming tornado outbreak with that. No, it's way too soon to say that. It could be some severe weather with this, but it's way too early to say that there's going to be a lot of severe weather. In fact, it may just wind up being rain. At this point in time of the game, you just don't know. You just know the signals might be there. We let you know what the signals are, what the potential is, but we're not going to throw out there and get you all scared like a lot of these other folks are doing. So if we look at moisture, here's our legend up here. This is dry. This would be moist. That would be really, really humid there. So if we kind of take a look at things, we're going to go into Sunday here. This would show really dry air. You know, you might even argue and say there's a little dry line in here because there's the slightest hints of some moisture right into this area here, but really not much to even get that excited about here. But as we get into Monday, there it is, the moisture trying to get a little bit more thick, or try to get a little thicker here over into eastern Oklahoma, especially northeastern parts of Texas here. So if we were to have a system into this area, and it might be, we could see some thunderstorms here on Monday evening with this, if everything were to come together here. And as we get into Tuesday, that shifts over to the east, the Arklatex, and maybe over into Mississippi. So the next thing we want to look at is, what will the atmosphere look like with any moisture we may have or any storm systems we may have. So we know we got the storm systems in the area here. We know Sunday doesn't have a lot of moisture, and the next one behind that may have a little bit more here. So let's put everything into motion for you. This is a particular computer model that would show you environments that would be possible for thunderstorms here. And if you take a look here, there's Sunday. You can see the very, very little weak signal there over into Oklahoma, maybe even down into Texas here. So that kind of moves on out of the way. And then there you go Monday. And this is that moisture. You get a little bit more instability showing up here, or that thunderstorm energy, to go along with increasing levels of what we call wind shear. That's just stronger winds throughout the atmosphere here. So you might have a better chance for some thunderstorms here going into Monday evening and Monday night. And then that kind of shifts over to the east here into Tuesday. That would be the Arklatex and over into Mississippi. But again, this is still a week away, and so much can and will change between now and then. and I'll update that for you as I can. So there's your upper level jet energy there. But again, it was the thunderstorms that we were looking at with these possible systems. So just to kind of reiterate again, we got a couple of chances on the way. One Sunday, doesn't look like much. And then again, Monday, Tuesday, maybe a slightly better chance, but even that doesn't look too bad to me at this particular hour. But if anything changes, we'll be sure to let you know. And I'll have updates on this potential system coming up throughout the remainder of this week. Everybody, have a great night, and thank you for following me and being your trusted source for weather information.